Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Acclaim Lighting's True Colors. My name is Dan Erdman and today we're going to be talking about the Flex RGB WP. So the Flex Tape RGB WP comes in this package. Of course, you have the flex tape itself, and you also have your mounting and resealing kit. Now, the flex tape is a very popular product for anything from nightclub and bar to architectural and residential as well. It comes in a 10-foot long roll. As you can see here, it's rolled up. We have SMD RGB LEDs. As you can see, you can color mix it however you want. You can cut it every 2 inches for custom length, so you can cut it to 8, 6, however you need to. And if you need to do jumps, then you can resolder it and essentially jump from one section to another. Now, it has a waterproof jacket on the outside, so it's good in outdoor environments. However, you do have to home run it back to the power supply. The tape itself, at full, pulls 43.8 watts, and it runs on a 12-volt system. The beam degree is 120 degrees across the board. The mounting and resealing kit comes with a bunch of little brackets so that you can mount it underneath a cabinet or however you need to. It also comes with some screws to mount them as well. The other nice thing is that since it is an outdoor rated product, we also include some silicone here and some, let me get it out here, some end caps. So when you cut it, you actually break the waterproof jacket. However, then what you can do is reseal it with the silicone and the end cap. So today I'm going to show you all of the different ways to hook up the flex tape so that you can send power and signal. So this is one of the most basic configurations that you can use the flex tape with. You have your Flex PSU 4A right here, which is your power supply. It's a 12-volt, 4,000 milliamp power supply. That runs directly into your control box here, the Flex RGB C+, and then the flex tape, of course, runs directly into that. Now, in order to control this guy right here, you have the WR LED. This is a wireless remote that has built-in programs, so you can basically change the color that you need, red, green, blue, and also white. There's some color mixes as well, so you can do like teal and so on and so forth, purple. But the cool thing is that it also has some built-in chases. So you have a faster chase right here, slightly slower one, and there's also a couple of flashing ones as well, so it just changes quickly like that. And you can also on and off. Now the program that you keep it on, so if you have it on red for example and you turn it off, it'll always revert back to that last program. So we can do it one more time. So this one is ideal for a lot of residential and smaller installs as well because of the application. So in the last configuration using the single Flex PSU 4A, you can run 1 tape. Now if you need to run more tape, what we can do is provide you with the Flex RGB A, which is an amplifier that goes in between each tape. So in this configuration I'm running 3 tapes, and that's the maximum, 3 tapes with this entire setup. So I'm still using the same control box and the same tape as the last one. However, this time I'm running the end of this tape into the amplifier, which also needs its own power supply, the same Flex PSU 4A. So I have this here, which is running into the second tape, and then I have the second amplifier right here, which is running in here, also needs its own power supply, and then the third tape right here. So, and as you can see, the control box is controlling all 3, and the signal always goes back to this control box here. So a lot of our customers on the larger installs, they want to be able to control the flex tape via DMX. This is possible with a little hard wiring and this little guy right here, the XDimmer 3 Pro. So the XDimmer 3 Pro is a 3-channel dimmer. And you have your dip switches here to address, and of course your load here. Now the power does go through to the tape, so you have your power in here, which in this case would be 12 volt DC. You also have your DMX in. As you can see, I have my DMX right there. Then you also have the option of a DMX out here on the top. That's basically if you want to do more than 2 tapes per. So you can essentially daisy chain the Extremer 3 Pros together. So in a lot of cases, customers want to run more than 1 tape here, or they want to have different control, have like this be DMX control 1 through 3 and this one 4 through 6, for example. So that's easily achieved by increasing how many Extremer 3s you have. However, you do need to vary the power. Since a Flex PSU-4A can only run 1 tape, you need to go up to an S15012. Now this guy is a 150 watt power supply at 12 volts. It has variable voltage for the input, 115 or 220. And I've already got a little wired up here, but we'll get in closer and see what is going on here in a second. So here is the S15012 up close. Once again, 150 watts at 12 volts. So it takes AC in. Right now I'm feeding at 115, so this is where the AC is. The connections are live, neutral, ground. It's pretty straightforward there. Now as far as the outputs, we have 2 hot and 2 cold here. So they're right next to one another, and once it has power itself, it's indicated by that little green light down there. All right. Now that we are all wired up with some help from the old wire strippers and a screwdriver, this little screwdriver actually comes with each Extremer 3 Pro. So it's just a little precision screwdriver and helps you work these terminals. So anyway, here we have S15012 for our power, 2 Extremer 3 Pros, and of course the tape itself. Right now I have them set on 2 different addresses, so I have individual control of each right there. However, I could have them be the same because we can switch the dip switches here. Dip switch 10, by the way, is going to initiate your DMX, and then you can change the address from there on the other side. So if I want, I could have these both on the same channel, like that, or like I had it before, individual. I have them on a 6-channel controller right now, so I only have 2 sections as far as RGB goes. Now as far as the wiring goes, people always ask me what the distance is that they can run, and it really always varies on the gauge of cable. Since we're working with low voltage here, 12 volts, it's really not designed to go long runs. However, some of my customers do need that, so what we always suggest is to consult us on which gauge cable they should be using. So here we have the AC coming into the S15012. We have the low voltage cable running to the 2 Extremers here for power. And then we have our DMX line coming in here for control. And since we're jumping, we're going out of the DMX here into the DMX here. So the last configuration that I'm going to show you today to run the LED flex tape is with the AL Driver 8 RGBW from Acclaim. This is an ETL approved universal LED driver, so you can actually drive all kinds of different LEDs, but including the flex tape. So this guy is a 150 watt power supply, so you can run 3 of the tapes off of this. We have 8 outputs here. Each output is its own set of DMX channels. All depending on what mode you have this in, it can be 4 channels for RGBW, or it can be 3 channels for just RGB. I have it in RGB mode right now. We have a DMX in and out right here, so that you can daisy chain these guys, and then you have your dip switches here to change the mode and change the address. So as you can see, I have DMX control over this guy. And we can add one to the second output here so that we can have individual control of both. So this is basically a combination driver and power supply, so there's less wiring involved. There we go. 2 separate lines of DMX. So here we have the configuration. We have our AL Driver 8 right here. Our power for it coming in here, DMX signal here, running right here. And of course we have our two outputs with our tape. So because of its diversity, the Flex tape can be used for all kinds of applications, whether it's indoor, outdoor, cove lighting, accent lighting, or down lighting. It's pretty much up to your imagination. Well, that concludes this episode of True Colors. My name is Dan Erdman. We welcome any questions or comments, and you can always check us out at acclaimlighting.com.